night that changed everything. Jungkook and Jimin at the center of a horrendous issue that night. The sky above the military barracks seemed darker than usual. A gust of cold wind crept in between the windows, while the silence became the backdrop for the events that eventually shocked the army around the world. Inside the heavily guarded camp, two of BTS's biggest names, Jungkook and Jimin, find themselves at the center of an issue they never thought would arise. But who would have thought? It was precisely from that night that a new reality began to unfold. And their relationship was both tested and strengthened. It all started with a closed-door meeting at headquarters that was attended by only a few HYB officers and staff. Somehow, the conversation in the room leaked into the virtual world. It hinted that there was a difference of opinion between Jimin and Jungkook regarding a strategic decision regarding BTS's post-military future. This issue is spreading so fast. In fact, some of the army admitted to panic, thinking that the friendship that had been considered solid was on the verge of collapse. In the midst of the confusion that rages, the night bears witness to something much more emotional. Jungkook, who has been known to be quiet when facing personal problems, chose to come to Jimin in one of the break rooms. According to an eyewitness, they did not say much. Just a long silence, followed by one slow but sharp sentence from Jungkook. What we have been fighting for must not be destroyed because of things that are not of us. Jimin, who had been looking gloomy all day, finally broke down. He was crying, not because of sadness, but because of relief. It was a relief that Jungkook came, not as an idol, not as a coworker, but as a brother who knew when to speak and when to just be present. The next day, the HYB party finally spoke up. They confirmed that there was no personal conflict between Jimin and Jungkook. What happened was a healthy discussion regarding the project of their unit to be released after they were discharged from military service. Both are said to have different visions, but still support and appreciate each other, but the most touching explanation came from Jungkook himself. Through a handwritten letter published by HYB, he wrote, "We never quarreled. We're just thinking about the best way to get back to all of you. Don't worry. Jimin Hyung and I took care of each other, just like before, just like now." Through the Weverse account, Jimin wrote, "Sometimes what you see is not always true. But one thing's for sure, I believe him. And I believe in all of you, Army. Thank you for staying with us, even when we are silent." That short sentence was enough to calm the storm. The Army was united, writing incessant support. From Korea, Japan, to South America, messages of love for Jungkook poured in. That night was probably just one of many nights in the military camp. But for Jungkook and Jimin, the night was a turning point, a reminder that in the midst of a harsh world and high expectations, they are still mere mortals who just want to understand each other. And for Army, that night was another reminder that BTS wasn't built from perfection, but from honesty, pain, love, and a constantly renewed commitment. Issues may come and go, but a true brotherhood like Jungkook's and Jimin's will always have a way to survive. BTS is still here, and they will come back stronger. After the events of that emotional night, the atmosphere inside the barracks slowly changed. Those who initially put distance or caution towards Jungkook and Jimin's relationship began to reopen the space of intimacy. Some of their military colleagues even mentioned that the next morning, the two were seen laughing together at breakfast as if there had never been any tension. However, for Jungkook and Jimin themselves, the night left a deep mark. Not a wound, but a new awareness of the importance of honest communication in the midst of their stress and busyness. In the entertainment world, especially as a member of a group as big as BTS, the slightest misunderstanding can grow into a national, even global issue. Interestingly, from discussions and disagreements that were previously considered conflicts, an idea was born that HYB is now quietly considering a duet project between Jungkook and Jimin that will be exclusive after they complete their military service. An inside source mentioned that both were interested in creating a song that they actually wrote themselves, not just in terms of lyrics, but also the composition and visual concept. This, of course, made many armies speculate that the emotions that occurred that night would be the main inspiration in their later work. Some fans have even started making headline predictions, such as "Night We Spoke" or "Between Us," which are trending on Twitter. Seeing the dynamics between the two youngest members, Jin and RM, also responded. Jin, who is now active again after completing his military service, said in an interview that he was proud to see the maturity shown by Jungkook and Jimin. "You know, these two are younger brothers who grew up in front of our eyes. We used to guide each other, now they take care of each other. And that, I think, is bigger than just teamwork," said Jin. Meanwhile, RM, known as leader and mediator, wrote a short poem on his personal account, and many ARMY believed that the poem was intended for both of them. In the dark night, two little lights look for each other, not because I don't know the direction, but because I want to make sure another light remains on. The flood of support has not stopped. Fan bases from different countries created a solidarity project to celebrate Jungkook's friendship. From the huge LED screen in New York's Times Square showing clips of their closeness, to the act of donating on their behalf to children in South Korea, all became a real form of love from the fan community. Many also wrote digital letters to HYB in support of their duet project. After the night that changed everything, the relationship between Jungkook and Jimin seems to be getting stronger. A few days later, when the photos from their military activities were again shared through official channels, many of the ARMY immediately realized one thing: the expressions of both were now warmer and more open. Jungkook, who used to be quiet in the barracks, now seems to laugh more. Jimin, who previously seemed to be harboring a burden, looked lighter and more confident. Everything is like a puzzle that is slowly reassembled after it has been cracked by pressure and misunderstanding. In a live broadcast Jimin made via Weverse shortly after the incident, he finally shared implicitly his feelings that night. Despite not mentioning Jungkook's name directly, his heart was very clear towards their relationship. "I realized, in this life, we sometimes hurt the person we love the most, not out of hate, but because we believe too much that he will always understand. But when he started to move away, we just realized we almost lost a brother," Jimin said with teary eyes. That sentence immediately touched the hearts of millions of ARMY watching. The comments column was immediately filled with messages of emotion, support, and also recognition from fans who had felt a similar conflict in their lives. Not long ago, Jungkook also gave a statement in the form of writing in the fan community. He wrote a simple but profound, "There are things that can't be explained in words, but can be felt when you stand by someone's side despite being angry with them." The ARMY was again overwhelmed. Many consider this a form of apology and acceptance at the same time. Not a few also began to associate this writing with lyrics that are likely to be present in their duet songs later. A representative from HYB finally opened up to the media about Jimin and Jungkook's relationship after the emotional night. In the interview, he confirmed that the agency was proud to see how the two resolved tensions in an adult way. "What happens between them is human. And as an agency, we witness the incredible emotional growth of our two artists. This is not the end of the story, but the beginning of something bigger," said the senior manager of the BTS division. News emerged that a song titled Midnight Mirror had been submitted as part of their post-enlistment project album. This title itself became a hot talk because it was considered very relevant to the night they experienced the mirror in the middle of the night, in which a person sees a side of himself through the eyes of the person closest to him. Speculation heats up when Dog Producer posts studio photo with caption, "Something born of genuine emotion will last forever." Fans are sure that the song is a real form of the evening they experienced together. From all these stories, one thing becomes clear: BTS is not only known for their songs or visuals, but for their touching and inspiring behind-the-scenes stories. The night that Jungkook and Jimin revealed their hearts to each other was not the end of the rift. It was the foundation of a new emotional maturity. ARMY around the world is now not only looking forward to their musical comeback, but also looking forward to a new narrative of friendship, forgiveness, and the power of relationships built not in the gleam of the stage, but in the honest silence of the night.